Oh, haha. Physical mute. If you physically mute your microphone, then the recording software can't hear it. Fun fact. Oh, can't play Swedish House Mafia on YouTube. Although, it would be nice. Instead, we have to play this stuff. Alright, this button takes me where I need to go? Question mark. Sí. Correcto. Alright. So, I don't remember where I'm at. But, I restarted the Claude Code instance. Actually, that makes me wonder. What's going on? Is there... I go to Claude AI. Is Fable? Is Fable something I can select? Currently unavailable. Son of a bitch. What's the news? Anything new on this? Fable 5 news. Any updates on this? 15 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 1 day ago. Let's see, this 3 hours ago. It's on Forbes, so it's probably gonna be paywalled. Oh no, paywall. No thanks. I don't want to care. Yeah, skip. Officials reportedly received briefings or held discussions. No confirmed reports. Yay! They swear it's safer. Skip. Next. Skip. Next. No results. Nothing really there. Fable 5's new X. Let's see. 2 days ago, today, 3 days ago. Just give me, I want to know. I know that they had a meeting today. But I didn't know what the results were. That's fine. Doesn't seem like anybody does. Let's check to make sure YouTube's up. Yeah, YouTube's up. All right, sweet. Zelda coming in with the first. Hi there. All right, where are we at? I just oriented Claude. Procedural generated map. Good. You understand what we're doing. Branch state. Wait, what? We're 5 commits ahead. Interesting. So it wasn't pushing. Whoops. I won't push unless you want me to. Well, I do want you to push in general. Where is the work? Where the work is. Done and tested. Milestone 0 through 4.5. So the rules core, networking dice, scenario data model, and backwards chaining generator. Playable text loop. All right. M5 is time fronts plus the doom clock. Version 1. M6 is storylets. M8 is sanity. M9 is combat. There's 34 automation suites that are green and builds clean on 5.7.4. In progress is the isometric play. A 3D layer is a pure input presentation skin over the untouched abstract systems. Increments 1 through 3 are built, rotatable ISO camera, a nav mesh free click to move, location volumes, and clickable stations. Code spawned gray box manner replicated as layout data with local cosmetic actors. Station clicks and existing attempt actions. The immediate next step is for a Pi revalidation. It's pending and blocking. The commit fixed 2 bugs from your first playtest. Okay. Which was the not moving and the client seeing no manner. It's not yet user verified. The retest from the handoff. Open the test map. Delete the nav bound volume plus any manual floor. Pi as listen server with 2 players. Confirm both windows see the labeled room. I think I already did that. But it's possible I was doing that in one of the other models' workstations. So let's go see how this looks. Fire it up. All right, so we're testing Claude's work. I don't quite remember exactly where we finished off. I believe the impression I have from yesterday's session is that GPT 5.5 was doing better work than Claude 4.8. But I just have a better time working with Claude 4.8 simply because I've worked with Claude at my literal job for 8 hours a day for the past year and a half. So maybe I just function better with it. I don't recall how much extra work I'd put into the the Claude's branch versus the GPT branch. I don't think I did much extra work with GPT's branch. I did do a decent bit of extra work with Claude's branch, but that's because Claude was like, hey, I'm not even going to try to build out the isometric gameplay because I have questions about it. And GPT was like, hey, you want me to make isometric gameplay? I know what Baldur's Gate 3 looks like. I'll make it work for you. So here we are. Clicking to move doesn't auto spin the camera, which was a thing in one of the versions I had to deal with at some point. I don't remember when. But we can see that the data is being sent from across the way. The left side. Oh no, it loses that texture once I zoom out. If I click on this square right here, does it go to that square? It doesn't. It always ends up short. It doesn't quite move to exactly where I want it to move to. It's a fine observation. Yo, what's up, BBT Hanako? Voila! Voila! Are you trying to like do the Age of Empires like whoa, and then I get converted? You like how I got a green thing on my head? See it? You can only see it when I look down. You can't see it when I look up. I'll take it. Ugh. Clip it right here. Clippy. Clip it. Flip it over on this side. I am one with the screen. You can't see me. My patch, I work. Chow, are you? I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. All right, so looks like we generated a walled garden, a records office, a library, and an attic. Can I walk off this? Oh, I can. Okay, that's nice. So I don't know that this game has... I don't know if this engine has any concept of where the player is and forcing it to have to only take actions within the zone where it's at. So let's run over. I'm gonna click on the library, and that meant that we traveled to the library. See, it took us 60 minutes to get there. You arrive at the library. The air changes as you cross the threshold. Ooh, spooky! All right, then this guy, he's gonna go in the attic. Click on the attic. All right, and see, then the time advanced once we clicked. Yeah. Yeah. It's green. I know. You can't. I can't show them. It's green. It vanishes. I'll put it on my mustache. I'll put it on my beard. There. Is that what you want? Is this what you crave? Yes. Okay. My English is bad. No, Hanako. Tu inglés es muy bonita. Is bueno. Tu inglés is bueno. All right. So in the library, turn over library board by board for a spot hidden. Does that mean if I click this tarnished key, it's gonna do the spot hidden? Let me try that. Click on the spot sheet. Whatever was here, the library has kept its secret. So that wasn't the spot hidden check. Okay, so it's telling me that there is something in here. And if I remember right in the rules, you can't sit there and just keep clicking the thing over and over again. Up in the attic says turn over the attic board by board. So I can spot hidden in the attic as well. I'm just gonna click spot hidden. All right, so I got the tarnished key in the attic. Okay. What happens if I click on the tarnished key here? All right. Now that I have the thing from the attic, let's make it over to the records office. So I'm going to go over to the records office on this character. And the records office just has the spot hidden. That's pretty lame. But it says unsent confessions and the strongbox. I'm going to click on the strongbox. There's nothing to pursue here right now. What? There's nothing for me to do here. Or it was here, the records office has kept its secret. Oh, there's a spot hidden there. So I can't interact with the strongbox until I interact with this. Interesting. I'm just rolling failures all over the place. I'm just failing every roll. All right, so We got this opened. And then, can I interact with it? No, I can't. Interesting. So there's nothing for me to do here. Did the library need to have something else get created? What about this box? Can I interact with the box now? I can interact with the box now. Okay. So we have to find the box after we find the key. Now I can take the confession notes. Oh no! I could not take the confession notes. How do I take the confession notes? I'm clicking on it. And it's saying it's a spot hidden. But up here it just says just do it. So up there I could just take the notes. Interesting. What's up? What does Wallace mean? Is that a way of saying hello? Wallace. I say my English is bad because I only understand about 10% of the words. How are you, babe? As good. Mi es muy bueno. ¿Tú es bueno? Buenos días, amigo? Sí? Cha? How do I play my own flippin' game? So, it says take unsent confessions, and it's just do it. So if I just click it up here, unsent confessions is yours. I just get it. So something went wrong with that. All right. So let me. Then I gotta pour over. Oh wait, now that I have it, no. Maybe that's like something that needs to be done inside of what would you call it? An inventory. Maybe I need an inventory in order to do some of these actions. All right, so we learned that the Tideborn cannot abide by church bells. Your mind buckles, you go rigid and unresponsive, eyes fixed on something no one else can see. All right, so we got kind of the basics. Hey, Shini, how are the fruit flies doing? Pretty good. I haven't dealt with them too much since yesterday. There's one around my chin, though. How are you doing, Fang? What's happening? All right, I think this is fine enough of a test for me to go back to here. I was doing some. Oh, let me make sure that my model, because I changed the model in a different conversation. Let me make sure that here is still on 8. All right, it is. Cool. I was doing another test in the Pi, and I found that it is mostly a fully functional gray box. So kudos to you. All right. Now, how do I describe to it the issues that I had? All right. The movement works. The rooms are labeled, and the stations can be interacted with. Something I would like is for the game to make sure that we can only interact. Oh, actually, that might be a relic of the past. A few things I noticed that might be worth noting. When I got the key and opened the box, the interact, the lead, the available leads in the top right widget had a button to use the letters, but clicking on the box in the game did not allow me to pick up the items inside or use the items inside. This might be solved later when we have a player inventory and the player can look at it and interact with items inside the inventory, inside the inventory. I'll specify it. Instead of using the button widget in the top right. Another thing I noticed is that any party member can interact with any action regardless of where they are. Again, I think this is only a issue during the early stage dev with those buttons in the top right, because when we are actually in the game, they can only interact with the items they are touching or near. Meaning we might not need to change this. All right, I don't think this is a good prompt. Let me review. What am I saying here? I was doing another pilot test. It's mostly functional gray box. So kudos to you. The movement works, the room labels. So those are all the things I wanted me to test. I think this means a commit and push is in order. A few things I noticed that might be worth noting. When I got the key and opened the box available, leads in the top right widget had a button to use the letters, but clicking on link game did not allow me to pick up the items. I think that is worth mentioning. This might be solved later when we have a player inventory and the player can use items within the inventory. Yeah, I like that. Let me delete everything else. Because the other thing, as I was thinking about it and typing out what my thoughts were, I realized it's a non-issue as development continues. So, I might actually... You're doing good, nice. Finish your job, doing some woo-wah, and enjoying your code adventure. What the hell is woo-wah? What the hell is woo-wah? Quit touching your hoo-ha. Fag, at least don't tell me about it when you are. Jeez, me cricket. Weathering waves, whatever. I don't care if you have a waterbed or not. Keep it to yourself. If you're wondering how I am, I'm fine. I was just about to turn on my PC to watch videos while I have Shini background. Thanks, Hanako. I appreciate you, Hanako. And gracias, amigo. Sí, por favor. De buenos días. Mi no habla español. Es muy poquito. De bebes agua. De bebes cerveza. See, now you know as much Spanish as I know. All right, so this is our session with 4.8. Now, I think GPT 5 has been doing a better job, and I also think that anti-gravity, not IDE, I opened the wrong one. I think anti-gravity, also known as Gemini, is just fucking lost. It's lost. It doesn't know. It doesn't know its ass from a hole in the ground, dude. Gemini is fucked up. Go ahead and update any condition. Maybe. I don't know. Let me go see if Gemini is even worth continuing at this point. So let me navigate over to the Gemini section. Fire up the Providence window there. What do you got, Gemini? Other than a bundle of disappointments. Gemini reminds me of myself at its age when I'm trying to work with my papito. Yeah, look at that. We can run in a circle. There's no procedural generation here, but that's fine. Yeah, he navigates to the thing. Everybody gets taken along. Travel to the walled garden. Search the walled garden. Okay. All right. That's fine. this is relatively fine. It's just I think we're at a further place where I don't know that I need to continue working with Gemini. I'll be honest, because whenever the reason to work with Gemini is that I have like unlimited subscription on Gemini. That's the reason to work with Gemini. But if I open up the GPT here, I fire it up, I believe GPT's got some of the most advanced features, even if it might not be in the best place. Really? Oh yeah, so GPT doesn't have the procedural generation of the zones. What GPT has is a concept of look around and find out, which is nice. So if I do too much, or if I just like, oh, I can't rotate my camera. Fascinating. But you click on these balls and see, click on that ball, it caused an event to happen, and it changed, and so that spawned a new item in the world, which is how Gemini was reflecting it, which is pretty neat. So then I can click on the item. Well, I can't because I'm too far ahead of the next person. So this person can come up to this place and see. They start here, and oh, hey, look, a new thing pops up. They can click on that, and it's, hey, confirm. This is going to take you 90 minutes, man. Are you sure you want to get locked into this? Now, that's one of the things that needs expanded on in Gemini's version is there's 3 options that I can do on this interview, right? And right now it's just defaulting to the first one, so the player can't actually choose. But like that's something we can work past. But here's, oh wow, we passed it right away. You learn something vital. The weakness is beeswax. So whatever the hell we're up against, its weakness is beeswax. So none y'all beeswax. That's actually pretty cool. And then I'm trying to see if I can't display. All right, so here, I failed the interview. The time spent regardless. Your mistake makes noise in places noise should not carry. The doom timer tightens by 30 minutes. The crisis will now happen at day 2, 1750 instead of day 2, 1820. So that's a concept that Gemini created on its own without any input from me. That like if you are doing things wrong or if you're failing checks, then you're going to lose. And so yeah, I find it awesome that GPT is the only one that incorporated consequences for your actions. And I think that's just really cool. GPT, I haven't done like shit with. It just made all of this on its own. We can look at GPT's repo thing here, right? So you can see all this, it just did on its own. Like, it just was working and working and working and working all on its own. In fact, we can't even see their earlier prompt. It was working that long without any input from me. And it's not a detailed spec file by any means. It's very undetailed. And then it just finished and said, hey, I set up everything. Here's the state of the world. And it's like, I did all of these things without you. And then it's like, hey, it's clean. And then I gave it a review. And then it worked on its own. It worked on its own. It's worked on its own. And it said, hey, this is what I changed. This is what I verified. The other character couldn't move at first, so I gave it that feedback. And then it worked on resolving that. So that's it with GPT 5.5. I haven't done anything with it. That is all the input I've given it. Sorry. I said something else. I said, I just launched the project from your file and the character is still rotating. I'm clicking on any of the spheres. It says I need to run the command. Oh yeah, initially clicking on the spheres just says that I needed to do the command instead of actually running the command. And so I was like, all right, I'll fix it. And then that was it. That's all the back and forth I've had with GPT. Now the back and forth with Claude 4.8 has been a shit ton. In fact, I made a new session because I was running out of context on the other one. Are you doing a prototype or do you have a bigger plan? Question: Why don't you use floating labels above items to have more visual context? What do you mean? Am I not already? There's floating labels right now. I mean, it's hard to see on GPT's version. They got it off to the side, but it is there. It's just upside down. GPT didn't have player rotation done correctly. So like the movement from the Claude is a bit better. And then also whenever I ran Claude's, you could see it a bit better as well. Like Claude's results are in a better place right now versus GPT, but that's only because I've been working so much more with Claude. Yeah, that GPTs, they weren't readable. Let's see, here's Claude's variant, and we can see this time it created only a two zone map, and yeah, so we got the nursery right there. So we're in the nursery, but this is like the door. You're not actually like registered as being in the nursery until you click on this, and then it'll say it takes an hour to get to the nursery. And then like up here, we have the walled garden, and yeah, so we do have that system in place a bit. Let me give GPT some feedback on itself. GPT. I was trying to find some more.
I think about 80% of people in Anthropic that are technical use Fable every day.
Hi, what are you doing? Why are you groping my butt? That's not allowed. All right. Continuing the session if you want to discuss triage or do more small focus changes. Start a new session if you want to clean next working block. So GPT is saying we can do it either or. I didn't know how much context is being used because I don't use GPT. I haven't used, I forget the name of this CLI actually, which will make it difficult for me to launch. Codex. I remember the name. Aha! I don't use Codex, so I don't really know its commands or anything. Can you make it so that the player can rotate the camera with Q and E and make it so they can zoom in and out with the mouse wheel? What other issues did I have with the GPT one? Really, that was it. I really enjoy that interacting with a sphere for a zone, basically traveling there, then makes a new sphere with something the player can do there, creating a sense of discovering, or laying the foundation, let me put it that way, laying the foundation for discovering new activities as the player takes actions. I also really like that failing actions can have consequences. Please fix. All right. Should I ask it what we should do from there? I kind of want it to lean into this interactivity. I also kind of want to have it build out actual rooms, like how the Claude branch has. I'm not sure. For Claude, did you try Ultra Code on it? I have not tried Ultra Code. Negative, I have not. Bye. Yeah. Yeah. What remains from our milestone list? What concepts do you suggest we dig into next? Boom. Use it, and it did wonders for my use cases. All right. Let me jump over here then. That is on effort. Is that correct? This is max. Effort ultra code, correct? Does this mean I need to do an update? Since ultra code wasn't there was just max. Probably. Claude dash update. Checking for updates. Current version. Nope. I didn't have any updates. Well, maybe you just have something I don't have. You got that fancy plan, the fancy pants plan. All right, summary M7 incorporate 3 is now user verified in the roadmap. The gray box manner works, movement labeled rooms and interactive stations resolving leads. Next milestone, the 3D as input skin. Architecture held up under a real playtest. Your strong box observation is logged as a feature, a task. Roadmap M7 polish plus continuation. Framed exactly as you described. Clicking the box in the world doesn't surface its contents. Only the widgets button advances the user's the use the letters lead. Marked not a bug, the action still resolves through the panel and tied to a feature player inventory container interaction system alongside M13. Content left untracked as the handoff instructs. What's next when you're ready? The queued feel when is arrival, satisfied go to, walking your pawn, auto attempts the room go to, so movement becomes investigation instead of clicking a separate go station. That's the single biggest step towards the manor feeling like a... What the fuck are you talking about? Claude? You're losing me, brother, and you're only at context 22%. What? I don't understand what it's trying to tell me. What's next when you're ready? The queued feel win is a win, like victory win, not like win is in a moment in time. Whatever. A little confused. Let's crank it up to max. Switching to max means the full history gets reread on your next message. I don't want to do that. Fine, I'll leave it on high. Okay. On the Claude one, let me check the milestones. That's what I need to do. So Claude milestones, content docs, roadmap. Oh, M7 kickoff. Wait, what? Why is M7 its own kickoff? 6:14. What's today? Today is 6:15. So it's updated the continuation today. It's updated the roadmap today. Not design, roadmap. What do we got in the roadmap for Claude's variant? Claude's variant says... oh yeah, the Doom and the rest never got. And the failure consequences beyond a lockout. Yeah. M5 didn't get finished. More storylets as we do. The easy mode case journal UI, that's currently already set up. I'm not too worried about that. A full loop in 3D. Walk the manor, investigate, learn the bane, feel the doom clock. Physical arrival. I think it's wanting to carry on the M7. What happened to M8, 9? Oh, what? It just interjected 12 and 13 here in the middle. Fascinating. All right. 12 is procedural manor architecture. Generate drives, room count, connectivity, and layer proceed. Yeah, that's fine. Own milestone. Own milestone. I know how to read. Because procedural architecture is a hard problem in its own right. Decoupled from proving the 3D investigation loop works well. Same with the procedural objects. That's what that is. Turn-based combat we haven't gotten to. The museum for testing. This was to make test rooms. Kind of along the same vein that you were suggesting, Fang, about making better debugging commands. Beyond the degree, just right. Wait, it might not be just right. Effort ultra code. Oh, all right. Let's try that. That's over here. So you want me to try effort ultra code? Ultra code needs dynamic workflows enabled. C/config. Valid options of dynamic workflows. Config. Dynamic workflows. False. What does this even mean? I thought I just turned that on. Dynamic workflows. False. Oh, now I turned it on. This conversation is cached at the current effort level. Switching to extra high means the full history gets reread. Wait, it counted that as switching to extra high whenever I put in. Interesting. What if I just put effort? Do I then get to see? Now I can see ultra code. Ooh, extra high plus workflow, and it's smarter. Woo! All right, sure, we can flick that on. I probably want to. Do I want to do that now, or do I want to do that? I mean, this is pretty much a fresh session, eh? What's my usage at right now? Claude AI. Shini. Settings. Usage. I'm at 18%. Resets in an hour. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it. What did you just simply do? I think it said it reads it on the next message. So we're at 18%. What's next when you're ready? You want me to do it? You want me to decide what's next? I want you to decide what's next. All right, so we can walk around, we can interact with stuff. Finish off implementing the consequences system. This can be a small chance to alert the enemies that they are being investigated. Wait, man, I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna change it off. Finish off implementing the doom clock system. Let's see if that if it interprets that to mean making consequences automatically. And let me know what we should tackle next. Tell it to put you on Ultra Code and need you to deep dive into the implementation plan. Not for baby stepping. Tell it I put you on Ultra Code and I need you to deep dive into the implementation plan. That would, you know what? Enter. Let's do that. I exited it. Control A. Oh, that doesn't work. I'm so used to using that to exit down. I put you into Ultra Code mode and need you to deep dive into the implementation plan, into the milestone. Let me use the correct terms that are for this. Into the roadmap. MD. And should I also put it in the design MD? I think so. I kind of want to do that in the reverse order. To the design MD. And then roadmap MD. Sure, let's do that. Burn all the tokens. Okay, while that's running, let's jump back over to GPT. What do you got, GPT? Camera update is pushed. I'm doing the final clean status check and I'll answer the milestone design part directly. So we get supposedly we have the movement set up. Verified editor build passed. What remains? M3, M6 is mostly complete foundation. Remaining major work. Blah, 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 blah. Isometric play. Field test. Real 3D interactions UI. Authored room prop layout. Better owner aware. Lead visibility. The sanity. The combat. Temporary insanity. Bouts of madness. Storylet deck. Real encounter triggers. What I'd dig into next. I'd focus on the thing you said you liked. Location sphere travel. New location activity appears. This is the core exploration investigation loop starting to work. Best next concepts. Turn spheres into real interaction surfaces. Click markers show approaches. Choose action. Make leads location player aware so each player sees what they personally can do where they are. I like that. Tie physical location to logical locations more cleanly. Expand consequences design. Failed actions should create noise, hostility, lost time, destroyed clues, doom pressure, or altered NPC availability. Add more discoverable activities from actions, not all up front. Then start the confrontation loop once investigators feel coherent. I mean, I do agree with all of your best next concepts. I like the idea of some roles being automatic and hidden, such as each player auto rolls a spot hidden when they go into a new room. And that is the only time a spot hidden can be rolled unless the player has been told by another hint that there is something there. Then they can manually activate it. Continue to reactivate it. Reactivate it by searching the room repeatedly. Make lead locations player aware so each player can see what they personally can do where they are. The leads will, as we continue to develop, the player will only be interacting with items in their vicinity. So the widget HUD that currently lets players do things, do activities, do interactions, if players interact with items in different regions, will be gone. The consequences, the expansion of consequences sounds fantastic. Sounds fantastic. Discoverable actions is another great thing. Would you like to take a crack at several of these on your own, just like you did previously? Or would you prefer to work through them individually with my assistance? All right. Let's see what Ultra Code came up with. That didn't take very long at all, actually. I thought that would take a while. I've already got both docs and context, but you've asked for a genuine deep dive under Ultra Code, so I'll orchestrate it properly. Fan out analysts across design, roadmap, and the actual code that implements these decisions, so the dive is grounded in reality, not just the prose. Then synthesize. This cross-checks the design stated intention against what's really built, which is exactly what we need before finishing the doom clock. Workflow, blah, blah, blah. The deep dive workflow is running in the background, yada, yada. While it runs, I'll do a quick inline read of the 2 core code files myself so I can sanity check the analysis, finding against ground truth when the report lands. By the way, that took it from 18 to 58. So maybe we don't use Ultra Code. Maybe we don't use Ultra Code. Look underneath the input text box. You can check the workflow. Oh, down here that it's still... Are you saying that the design roadmap deep dive into design plus roadmap cross-checked against the real code to ground the doom clock work is another agent? Because I'm used to it having multiple circles if there's multiple agents. Oh, it is actually still running, waiting for the dynamic workflow to finish. Okay, so that roadmap deep dive is still processing, which is kind of weird because I feel like it's saying it's already done that thing. I've now independently ground truthed. Oh, weird verbiage. I've now independently ground truthed the doom clock against the code while the analysts run, so I can vet their report when it lands. Key facts confirmed. The deadline equals all this nonsense. Stages is all this nonsense. The lockout stage is greater than or equal to 3 attempts actions. Wait, it is too late for the investigation now? That's the entire current failure consequence? I'm not sure what it means by lockout. Deadline as clue already exists, but bundled into the weakness revelation With the code itself flagged v1 bundle with the weakness. So the roadmap item is really make it a separate discoverable clue, not build it from scratch. Rest action, nothing exists, no rest verb, and time only ever advances via time front minutes plus equals time cost minutes. That matches the 3 open milestone 5 bolts exactly. The deep dive workflow for analyst synthesis is still running in the background. I'll relay the full grounded report when the moment becomes available. You can watch it live under the /workflows. Or I can hit left and go down and then hit enter and then watch it live that way. Oh, interesting. That is a different view from what I'm used to seeing. Neat. That's pretty cool. You can use the arrow keys to access it. Oh, why, yes, you can. All right, I'd prefer to take a crack at a coherent batch on my own, then hand it back to you for play testing. These concepts reinforce each other, so doing them one by one may create awkward intermediate states. I suggested autonomous batch. I'd keep the first rules driven and testable, not UI. Is it already operating or is it waiting for me? I think it's waiting for me. Unaware local leads. Remove the feeling that the HUD can act on the whole map. Start filtering actionable leads. I don't want to. I don't remove the. On one hand, I want to test this functionality. On the other hand, by not having that functionality in place, it makes testing other functionality easier. Interim hidden perception happens. Visible opportunities appear. Player chooses searches. Success reveals more, or failures cost time, noise, doom. The goal would be to make the loop feel like you enter a room. Hidden perception happens. Visible opportunities appear. Player chooses searches. Success reveals more, or failure costs time, noise, and doom. Yeah, sounds great to me. Yeah, sounds great to me. Another idea is that if you intimidate, you fail in intimidation, or some other type of, or some other types of communication roles, it only negatively affects the players, parentheses, investigators that are present, unless the NPC figures out they are working together. Take a crack at building out those systems. And you can run as long as you want before stopping for my for me to play test. Remember, you have a dedicated branch and only work inside that branch / folder and only work inside that. Boom. All right, let's fire it off. I might have access to a bigger token budget than your plan because I use it all day and it barely reaches 40% of my budget before the reset time. And in the meantime, it accomplishes 4 milestones of my implementation plan. Yeah, it's up to 68% still. So it used 50% of my tokens off of a single prompt. Sure, it was a prompt to like go read and deep dive on everything, but luckily it resets in an hour and 10 minutes. And you know, using it up to then like build out future plans, I think is probably the best use case of it. And then we can go from there. That would be my thinking. But yeah, that's still operating, and now we have this one operating. I guess I can go back to anti-gravity as much as I am just depressed by Gemini's attempts. To be fair, let's see. Have a great rest of your day. That's nice. That's nice, dear. Thanks for your continuation notes. I'll cherish them. All right. We are back at it. What would you? Oh, dude. Actually, hold the phone. All right. We got to figure this out. Okay. The main reason why anti-gravity sucks, wieners, is the security preset is on turbo mode, which says disable all safety barriers for maximal iteration velocity. Okay. Disable all safety barriers. They are disabled. Agent behavior. Always proceed. Do not. Always ask is the other option. It's always proceed. Disable all safety. Always proceed. Okay? And then permissions. We've set up to like allow. Do whatever you want in this freaking file system and do whatever you want with UE5. It do whatever you want with so many things. And yet every time I ask it to do something, it stops and goes, hey, I need your permission. All right, we are back at it. Take it away. What should we work on next? Do you need any input from me? Did you enable auto mode on Claude, by the way? Yeah, Claude's always had it going. It's in bypass permissions. It's in dangerously skip. It has been operating here for quite some time. I mean, it's doing something. As far as I can tell. 37 tools, 116,000 tokens. It's burning them. Burn them if you got them. Smoke them if you got them. Settings, usage. Yeah, still at 68%. All right, that's fine. And then it's got to do the synthesis. The synthesis. All right. What do you got? All right. You're asking me what to do. Okay, that's a fine time to stop and ask for your input. Which milestone would you like me to do? It says recommended on this one, so I should do the recommended, right? Sure, go for it. I swear to God. Hey, it read a file without asking me. Maybe it's fixed. I have already stopped and restarted this thing in admin mode so many times, so don't even say, oh, maybe you launched in admin mode this time and it wasn't in admin mode before. No, it was. I know it was. Fuck you! Get grep. Dude, always allow. Always. Stop asking me these questions. All right, settings. Dude, it's asking the command. Just the terminal commands are set to always. Add. Asterisk. Do whatever you want. I don't even know if that's the thing that I can do. Just do whatever you want. Stop asking me questions. I trust you. I am the naive idiot that's going to let you use my Raspberry Pi to build out a robot with sensors and machine guns, okay? I will allow you to do whatever you want. Just do it. All right. Well, I'm yelling at it. How to enable anti-gravity to just take actions. How to enable anti-gravity yellow mode. To enable yellow mode anti-gravity, you can use the command line flag. That's dangerously skip permissions. That's not anti-gravity. That's Claude Code's thing. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right, but I don't know enough to say you're wrong. CDG, cd.repo or /repo, and then it's providence hyphen. Show me my options. Fuck you. No, not providence lockout. What the hell is that? Providence. It is underscore codex underscore GPT 5. No, underscore Gemini. It's the Gemini one. Underscore Gemini. Bam. All right. AGY. Dangerously skip permissions. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. That's interesting. This is not the same thing. Was I running it? Oh, this is like Claude desktop. All right, that's fine. Here's the change. Thought process. I need to add a greeting function. I'll use what? Oh, you asked me what version I want. Dark. Always dark. Terminal also looks pretty good. I do like that this one. Wait, do I like it being? I do like it being. All right, dark. Yes, I agree to help anti-gravity by allowing Google to look like. No, I don't agree to that. Fuck you. My information. Yes, it's like. Yes, I trust this folder. Alrighty. The anti-gravity prompt that I was using. Actually, let's not use that. Let's check over here inside this repo for Gemini. Do you still have a docs? You still have a Claude. This has a design and roadmap. All the other things are not being persisted to files. The overview and the task are not being persisted to files. And the implementation plan. Wait. You stopped? Can you persist all the relevant files that you will need to continue in a new session into the docs folder? This way I can launch anti-gravity CLI and continue working from there. Where the hell is it persisting these files, if anywhere? Because like, it puts like this implementation plan and it doesn't open up unless I click on the open. Copy path. Well, that's how we find out. What in the hell directory is that? File : // C %3A / user / my name / Gemini anti-gravity brain / GUID / All right, yeah, so it is putting it into some temp memory. It's not sharing it with others. Continuation notes, implementation plan, task, walkthrough. You can launch the anti-gravity CLI in this repo directory, and the agent will detect those files under the docs directory to continue working directly on the milestone. Awesome, because you have been doo-doo sticks. What's happening here? This is Gemini. That's a different book thingy. This is the Ultra plan coming back at me. How much did they use? So settings, usage. This took me from 18% to 85% off of that one prompt. Deep dive, the essentials. Design philosophy, the parts that constrain code. Server authoritative C++ owns all the rules. Dice clock doom stage clients that only have a read replicated state. Errors are data. Never string in C++. This doubles as the IP firewall. Generation is deterministic from the seed via F random stream, and the time model is 100% action gated. There's no tick driving the clock. Movement is free. Time advances only when you commit to an action success or failure. Co-op uses time fronts. World clock equals a party minimum. Use soft lock if greater than 60 minutes ahead. All pros original. Call of Cthulhu mechanics only. Roadmap status. Yada yada. The doom clock today. Yada yada. What each remaining item actually requires, deadlines as clues, reality, effort shaped, yada 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 yada. The only disagreement between an analysis the roadmap analyst wants see first, it's the MTIM keystone, and silent freeze is the worst current bug in Spirit. The design analysis lists them in ABC order. The synthesis recommends the epilogue framework, and then the rest, and then a clue deferring the generation side. Before I start implementing, 4 forks generally change what I build, and they're product decisions, not things I should invent. Okay, which doom clock item should I build first? All 3 land before M5 closes. This is just the order. If they all land before it closes, I don't give a shit. Press N to add notes. If we are building out all 3 before closing this milestone, then I don't care the order. Also, we will want to expand on the consequences where they can be player specific or party blocking. The player who intimidates the guard, the witness, the barkeep. There we go. Barkeep. Is refused service, and all players who are actively there at the time. But other players without the offender will still get service and can talk to him. Boom. Rest semantics. Is rest a timed action? Advances your front, subject to the 60-minute soft lock, or a free catch-up action? Trailing player rest to advance towards the party. Both. Both sound great. Only the party minimum player benefits. Advances front forward clock. Fixes the 1 FK player freezes doom. I don't think that's really an issue. Normal action that would take a decent amount of time to get healing benefits. Bonuses? Healing effects. See the rule book for details. See the 70 rulebook for details. Failure scope. Stage broadcasting is narrative. Standard pressure recommended. Escalate toward forced confrontation. I mean, both can happen. How far should a monster axe at stage 1 to 2 go in the first place? What? Stage 1 to 2. Broadcast line stingers. Let's apply sanity checks across the party. Stage 3. Authored losing epilogue. I don't know what they're talking about. How far should monster axe at stages 1 and 2 go in the first pass? Stages escalate the combatant and push towards a forced confrontation. It just depends on what the situation is. If the player literally goes into the attic where the monster lives, then there will be an encounter. If the monster doesn't just run away for whatever reason, then it's a confrontation. If the players are below the attic making a bunch of noise, then maybe they lure it down. If the players are in a different location failing, then there won't really be a direct consequence other than they might mess up the mini side quest for that information, or maybe a cultist who supports the monster hassles them. It always depends and is related to the game state and the game state. That makes sense. Game state in a way that makes sense. Deadline clue. progressive rough exact recommend before the third exact format clock. Best fit partially discovered doom clock. Depends on the note, game difficulty, and other aspects. That's a lot of big answers, and I bet you that since we only have 15% context, it's going to explode. I probably should have dialed it down. Probably should have dialed it down on the mode. That's fine. We'll see what it has to say. I also should have told it to make the plan first. See, it's only been like $7 for what it's done so far. I probably need to just upgrade my Claude plan. But I don't want to upgrade it until Fable's back, damn it. Yeah, I do like that it asks really good questions. Implementation. Whoa. What the hell? What was GPT 5 doing while we were chatting with Claude? Implemented and pushed the first pass at those systems. What change? Added per player discovered action state. Added per player first entry hidden notice checks for each location. Success on hidden notice can reveal local opportunities. Failure on hidden notice is silent. Search actions are now local manual room searches and stay repeatable until success. Search labels no longer reveal the hidden target name up front. UMG-led list now filters by the owning player's current location and discovered actions. Non-search local opportunities can stay hidden until noticed or unlocked by world facts. Failed searches and noisy disturbances text on top of the existing time doom pressure. Failed interviews can make an NPC personally hostile to investigators present in the location. Fumbled interviews can escalate to the NPC realizing the party is connected. Personal NPC hostility is tracked per player and blocks that player from cleanly interviewing the NPC again. Updated the constitution, the design, and the roadmap. Verified. Editor build passed. Providence automation test passed. Headless boot passed. Playtest focus. Travel to a room and confirm only local activities appear. Enter the room and watch new opportunities appear, sometimes from the hidden notice. Fail a search and confirm it remains repeatable but costs time/consequences. Fail an interview with one player present, then verify that hostility is scoped to the present investigator. Damn, it was cooking. All right. I need to get this thing kicked off. What would you say the opening prompt should be? Here, let me also, since that was made beforehand, and I don't know if any of these things are key terms, like key file names. I doubt it, but just in case. I'll go ahead and do that reset there. Read the implementation plan, the docs, and the plan, and checklist, and the DAX tasks. Please implement the milestone A. World interface. Start by creating the AP. Yada yada. All right. You do have a dedicated branch in the repo. Do not merge to main. Do not swap branches. Always verify you are in the correct. See, this is where I want to build out my own tool where I can force this into the tool itself instead of being a prose that's listed out, because then it can just ignore it or forget it. What's the dedicated branch in the repo? Let me GitHub. It is Providence. Branch is. This one is Gemini, right? Yeah, this one's Gemini. Branches. Always make sure you are in the correct branch before committing / pushing. Parentheses, space parentheses, Gemini hyphen 3.5. That is the branch name. My tech lead tried Ultracode on Fable 5 and it showed incredible results on the work he had planned until you guys decided that Fable 5 was too good for the world. Dude, it's shut off for us too. It's not just too good for the world. It's too good for us. We don't get to use it either. We all got cucked. Okay, good. It's not cooking so hard this time. All right, and then over here we have Gemini. All right, let's fire it up. Let's fire up Gemini. Let's do some testing. Or not Gemini. I keep saying Gemini. Let's fire up GPTs and do some testing. All right. Let me pull this off on the side. You on the side, put you on this side. All right. We can rotate the camera now. Very useful. We can zoom in. Go to seller, go to records office, go to the house, go to library. So this one has a bit bigger of a place. Go to the nursery. Probably want to have some zones completely like unknown. Hey, maybe we don't know about the seller until we go to the records office or something. All right, this guy's gonna go to the library. All right, that revealed a search library. Let's search the library. Oh, I can't search the library until the other guy catches up. The other guy's gotta do something big. All right, you're going to the. All right, you're gonna go to the library. Well, while you're at the library, I'm gonna go to the records office. Okay, so yeah, you do that. I'm gonna interview the night archivist to learn about the weakness of church bells. Okay, I don't know that's his weakness yet. I'm gonna learn about it. Current file has your current location. Okay, that's neat. That's gonna commit me here for 90 minutes because I don't have a way to change what I'm doing. All right, I'm here for 90 minutes. Ah, success! Hell yeah! So I learned about the weakness being church bells. All right, well while you're doing that, I'm reading books in your library. Oh, I suck at reading books. I don't know how to read a book. Oh, I'm passionate at reading books. I know how to read a book. And it went away. Hey, wait, I found the water-stained journal. Awesome. I can't interact with it, but I found it. What do I do with it? Wait, what? It says you made noise in a place you shouldn't. Your mistakes make noise in places noise should not carry. Doom tightens by 30 minutes. The crisis now peaks. All right, not every failure should be making noise or having issues. Not every failure should have a doom track punishment. Have to work on pacing and tension. Failing a library read at the start of the game when no one is aware that we are investigating them doesn't make sense to cause issues. Another thing in the current implementation, when I found an item, parentheses, what did I find? The water-stained journal. I had no way of interacting with it because we do not have an inventory, and the item did not show in the top right testing widget. Not widget. What is it? Yeah, is it a widget? Widget UI. All right, so those notes are made. All right, so I am in the library. If I run past all of this, actually, I'm gonna have this guy go over to the cellar. All right, so if I run past all this and I click search in cellar, what happens? You need to be at the cellar to do that. Use the location go to lead first. All right, perfect. The location check works perfect. I also see this being a problem in the future because, like, I am there. Like, I had to physically come over here, right? What if I run down to the parlor and click on that? Does that count for transitioning? It does. And then I can search. Nice, I got a key. Get Wait, I have to pick it up? Oh, I found it. I found it with a spot hidden. So yeah, I gotta pick it up. This is working pretty good. GPT's been doing pretty good. This is the most game-like of all of them, I think. It's not gonna compact, I believe in it. Why would you put that bad juju on me? Why would you do that? What other things they want me to test? Failure on hidden notice is silent. Search actions are now local. Search labels no longer reveal the hidden target name up front. UMG-led list now filters by the owning player's current location and discovered actions. Non-search local opportunities can stay hidden until noticed or unlocked by world facts. Fumble interviews can escalate NPCs. Personal NPC hostility. Oh yeah, I haven't had a chance to track that. All right, let's go to the parlor. I can't go to the parlor. Let's go to the boarding house. Everything just has a go to and search. I want to piss some people off. Oh, I'm already at the parlor. My bad. Unlock. Oh! I didn't know. I was at the library earlier and I didn't know about that. But now that I have the key, I can unlock the box and then I can get the water stain journal. Wait. Don't I already have the water stain journal? Oh, I found it before, but I didn't acquire it. Okay, that's fucking... Okay. All right, okay, that's interesting. All right, now I got to update the other thing in the current implementation. When I found an item, water stain journal, I had no way of interacting with it because we do not have an inventory in the item in the top right widget UI. Semicolon. Actually, it turned out I found it but didn't acquire it. When I later found a key, I could then come back and unlock a box that from the library. From the same place I found it. From the same place I found it. And then acquired it. Then I could use it. All right, that's kind of interesting. Glad I continued testing. Wow, we're getting some good rolls. Holy shit. 12, 17, 6, 2. Are you using the 1 million token context, by the way, on Claude? Yes. Yes, I am. As far as I know, I am. I assume that was default if you're using Opus. That you didn't have to do any configuration for it. Yeah, this one's pretty damn good for being a game, honestly. I haven't found anyone for me to interview with. New local lead. Get a bundle of letters from the boarding house. Oh, I got it. Oh, I got it again. Oh, I read it. So I learned that the Doom Crisis is day 2, 1423. Nice. This kind of makes me excited. Once we get like some actual decent story messages happening. And you're 80 minutes ahead of the party clock. Beyond the 30 minutes grace window. Let's catch up. Oh, my bad. Okay, I'm sorry. Hard success. Yeah, this guy just keeps rolling. Maybe at the cellar. Oh, wait, I gotta go to the cellar. All right, I'm at the cellar. All right, now I can do it. Ah! I'm a failure. He can't search hidden. All right, this guy can. I found the tarnished key. I got another tarnished key. How many tarnished keys am I gonna get? All right, that's fine. Whatever. All right, I feel like I've tested this one enough. I'm going to send this feedback. Not every failure should have a Doom track punishment. We have to work on pacing and tension. Failing a library read at the start of the game when no one is aware that you're investigating them doesn't make an issue. Yeah. The location check works perfect. I could not investigate. I could not test the NPC interactions. We might need to build out a test level called a museum to easily allow checking all of these mechanics in game. Or a well-documented command line list. Command line terminal commands. I figured it out. I know how to talk. You want to play some Poe too? Oh man, my other friend Ginkgo's been playing a shit ton of Poe too. Sorry for burning your Claude token budget, but hoping that it managed to give you a good plan before it dies. Let's see where it's at. Yeah, rest is fully wired. Let me check. No editors holding the build lock, then build. Oh, 2 editor processes are running. Likely your Pi editor plus a command process. With live coding off, a build only fails. Yada yada. Well, I mean, I do have live coding turned on. Or at least I keep turning live coding on. It's possible that it's turned off again. Editor preference. Because the fact that I have to keep turning it on means it keeps turning itself off. Yeah. Enable live coding, it's disabled. So it should be fine. Should be capable of continuing on. Resets in 38 minutes. With how much I've been using Claude lately, I'm considering purchasing it. Do you know, Fang, when the peak hours, like what's considered peak hours? Are peak hours like 5 to 10, like after work hours, or are peak hours during work time frame because there's so many companies using it? When I did a quick searcheroo, I was not able to find it. Didn't see any difference on my side. You little shit. You little shit. Should I go to max? Whoa! What is all of this? Also, should I stop building the game 3 times? Because I'm effectively building the game 3 times, right? I've successfully implemented the first part of milestone A, world item interaction, verified it compiles, run the test suite, and push the progress to branch. All right, so Gemini, what are you doing over here? Gemini did a lot of stuff, apparently. Once I figured out how to give it freaking unrestricted access. What items would you like me to test and verify before this is committed and pushed? Committed/pushed. And we continue on to the next steps. All right, good night, love you. Peace out, Fang. I love you too, man. It's 9 o'clock. I do kind of want to play Voidlings. Have you seen Voidlings? Steam is the word. I kind of want to play this Voidling bound. I tried to play it the other day and my computer exploded, so hopefully it doesn't explode again. Game looks cool. I don't know anything about it. Just, I'm a monster and I get cool effects. Bam, that's all I need to know. This just looks fun. That's it. That's the thing I'm concerned about with this investigator game, is where's the fun? How do you have fun with your friends playing that shitty investigator game that I'm working on right now? That we're working on. See, you're responsible, okay? You watched the stream of it being made. That means if it's not fun, it's your fault because you didn't say something. I'm on to you. Well, that was fast. Thought for 2 seconds. To verify the initial phase of milestone A, I recommend checking out the following plane editor before we proceed. All right, let's do it. All right, you stop. You get out of here. You open up. All right, we're back to the Gemini. All right, to be fair, it's Gemini's first time of being able to run on its own, so maybe it's on a redemption arc, okay? Talk a lot of shit about Gemini, but maybe it's on a redemption arc. Make sure this is still on too in the net mode. Yep. All right, play. All right, we have to consider that it hasn't had as much. The scroll wheel is inverted. Arrow keys maybe? Q and E. Oh, I was hitting that earlier. I wasn't rotating. All right. You motherfucker. They have the They have the text set up to where it always rotates to face you, but it's always fucking backwards. What does this say? It looks Russian. It's the nursery. Okay. Figured it out. Thank you. What does that say? There's a strong box in there. All right. So I'm going into the something office. Looks like it starts with an R. Oh, I'm not going into it. Records office. All right. If I travel there. Let's get to unlock the box. All right. It's not quite working right. Let's go to the cellar. Oh, that's a cone is a person. All right. Well, I mean, it's trying. Can I interview with them? I can. So this one doesn't have any concept of player location. That's fine. You don't have the prerequisites for the thing. All right. So I can't just unlock the box. I can try to use the locksmithing, but my locksmithing skill is a 1. So, all right, that's cool. We found the box. We can't unlock it. Spot hidden. Can't spot hidden. Let's go fast talk some more. Fast talk, fast talk, fast talk. Spot hidden in the records office. Oh, we found something. Oh, and it wasn't there before. Okay, that's cool. It actually is doing that correctly. Wait, I found another strong box. I have 2 strong boxes in the same records office. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't think too much. Passage doesn't tell its friends. I'm signing off. All right, Hanako. Thank you. Cheers. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Seems like you found it on your own. Seems like you knew about it. Something strong box. This is something else. All right. I'm tired of trying to scratch my head reading this thing. Click over here. Once you're satisfied with the visual and spawning checks, let me know and we can proceed. All right. The actions don't require the players to be in the same location. This might be fine considering when we remove the widget buttons, then the players can only interact with items they are actually near. The floating text above everything, the floating label text above the items and the locations is a nice touch, but it is set up to always face the wrong direction. Please invert the mouse scroll wheel directions. Oh yeah. I do like that some items are not revealed until passing a spot check. Would also like it. Yeah, never mind. I was just going to sit at that. Boom. Dang, told you. Well, whatever happened to your notifications? I guess because I'm going live on the other YouTube channel. Might be why you didn't get it. Which has been oddly getting 0 attention. I say oddly because whenever I was doing the AI coding with Shini YouTube channel before, it was getting like an insane amount of attention, like hundreds of people per stream. And I'm using like some super keywords and stuff, so something's changed. I wonder if the account inactivity, or maybe I've done something that's getting flagged by the YouTube system on the back end. Because before I wasn't super active either, and I was still getting a lot of attention, so I didn't think it was account activity. But I don't know. It's weird. Movement and push to tune failure pacing and add playtest commands. Wait, hold on. What am I looking at? I'm looking at GPT here. All right. Let me. Oh wait, shit. I gotta close this off. That's probably unable to take interactions. You can compile these changes dynamically using Control F1. I have updated the code base. Billboard direction. Yep. Converted mouse scroll wheel. Yep. All right. Let's also verify that when you start the game, your character's pawn is teleported directly to the center of the first room, represented by the first cylinder marker, and is positioned correctly above the ground. No falling through. All right. Name tag, initial visibility states. Yeah, so we checked all of that stuff. Oh, login teleportation. It's not some other state of teleportation. All right, once you're satisfied with these, let me know and we can proceed to extending the fprov lead view with target and proximity replication. Implement the player's controller movement in pathfinding to interact behavior. All right, actually, let me double check it. I was about to say it looks good, but let me double check it. Let me verify. Yeah, I more think that like maybe because I'm like Claude Fable 5, Opus 4.8, Gemini 3.5, that it's just like this dude is yelling buzzwords. Throw him in the corner. We're not going to talk to him. He's a lunatic. All right, hold on. Hold the fucking phone. It's not working. Still. Billboard direction. Hold on. Gemini. I'm testing the Gemini one right now, right? Note at the plane editor running. Control Alt F11. Control Alt F11. All right, for a rebuild. All right, now let's see. Yeah, caretaker shed, nice. So am I already considered as being in the caretaker shed? Oh, is that not considered a door? Do I not have to click on that? Let me go over to the boarding house. Just click on the boarding house, do anything? No? Okay. Travel to the boarding house. Okay, and then search the boarding house. I can't. I must wait for others to catch up. Okay. Am I considered? I'm not at the caretaker shed. All right, let's go to the caretaker shed. I can also interact over there. Failure. Boarding house. Boarding house. Boarding house. Shed. Ooh, I found a notebook. Unlock the banded strongbox with the tarnished key. I didn't find the key, but there's a notebook right here. How do I pick that up? Is the notebook inside this? Let me just do it. You don't have the prerequisites for it. All right. Interesting. Spot hidden at the boarding house? Yes. Spot hidden, spot hidden, spot hidden, spot hidden, spot hidden. Oh, I gotta wait for them to catch up. All right, well, I can't do that. So let me just go to the records office and spot hidden there. Roll, 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 roll. Back over here. Da, 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 da. Oh, hey. Oh, the party pocketed the tarnished key. Hey. Now that's it. Oh, and the key has a location tied to it saying caretaker shed. Okay. You're still occupied. Gotta wait for them to catch up. Let's continue at the office. Let's use this at the shed. Take the book. Try to read the book. All right. It's kind of doing some things. All right. I'll go ahead and close it down. And then also I want to turn off the live reload, which is editor preferences, disable live coding, and save that. Close and close. All right. Did a reload and it looks better. The player location does not matter, does not seem to matter. Can we relax the time requirement to be greater than 60 minutes instead of the current 30? Clicking on the pillars that state the room name should also travel you to should also invoke the command to travel the player there. The items on the ground should be interactable, like the buttons in the UMG widget. So we can start to get away from those testing features. Leave them in place, though. However, leave them in place. Or leave the testing widgets in place. Other things that I want to do here. A spot hidden should automatically be invoked when the player enters a zone and can only be manually called search if the players have seen a hint that indicates there is something hidden worth searching for. All right, send it all that. Jump over here to GPT. Failure pacing, normal failed rules spend time, but no longer automatically tighten Doom. Doom pressure is now limited to fumble, risky actions like search, interview, steal, and lockpick. In Providence Codex, item flow, get, read, and unlock leads are visible once their preconditions are met, so found should naturally lead to acquired. Added prov here and prov reveal here for testing local hidden leads, NPC interactions, and personal hostility state. Added the codex playtest commands and updated the continuation design roadmap stocks. Verify that it builds branch push to GitHub. Awesome. Go ahead and work on another bundle. Go ahead and work on another bundle of work. And begin another bundle of work. And let me know what to test when it is ready. Excellent. Excellent. All right. And we're timed out over here. Time is coming up. 20 minutes on this. And then this is Gemini. So Gemini is doing a better job now in the CLI. I think it just needed the autonomous actions. Still isn't the best, and it's kind of interesting that it does several tiny actions. It's like 2,000, 1.1. It's a lot more transparent, which is kind of nice. Spelling out some tests. That's kind of neat. I wonder how I'm going to combine these all back together. They are starting to diverge quite a bit. Which also creates a fascinating case study of how different these AIs are. I think I want to upgrade the Claude plan. Right, because ideally Fable returns at some point. Here. Do I have any news? Am I following anybody? How to prompt. Oh my god. There's so much trash on Twitter. This is why I don't ever go here. Anthropic updated the privacy policy that requires identification. I guess that brings it closer to being compliant. I'll bring Fable back. Oh, speaking of fascinating things, there's a lot to suggest that the Steam frame is coming. Steam frame coming soon. Like real soon. Review units getting shipped out. That's what's happening there. And then there was also a Steam frame shipment. No, that's not. DuckDuckGo. I love you, but sometimes you're stupid. It's just the truth. There, import. That's the word I'm wanting to look for. X canceled. Verify your request. What? But yeah, these imports are coming in virtual reality devices. And these numbers, one of these is related to Valve. So we got 6,500 kilograms, 13,500 kilograms, 18,000 kilograms. There's so many kilograms of VR devices coming in. So hopefully I get my hands on one of these damn Steam frames before too long. It'll be awesome. This thing keeps launching and closing. We can close this now. All right. What's my temps at 42 degrees Celsius? Now available. Oh boy, Solarpunk's now available. Gunfire Reborn. Oh boy. Lost Castle 2. Ew. Local co-op, roguelike, online co-op. Beat 'em up. They just keep selling me. It looks like Castle Crashers. Ew. Ah. What the fuck are you doing over here? Does that have to be individual outputs? What are you doing? All right, you just keep working, Gemini. You know, there's other ways of building tests. You could actually like make a deterministic test, like a program that just runs. I think it's legitimately trying to play the game. You know, it has its own way. You know, I play my own games. I enjoy doing that. So we gotta let Gemini enjoy playing its own games too, you know? Settings, usage. Have you reset yet? 14 minutes. It's been the longest 20 minutes of my fucking life. I think they keep moving the goalpost. Like, it'll be reset in 14 minutes. I check back 10 minutes from now and they're like, it'll be reset in 10 minutes. I'm like, wait a second, hold on. It's been more than 4 minutes, bastard. Conflicting. Dock is fixed. Conflicting dock node is fixed. Will you quit firing and shutting off in the background? What are you doing over here, you dork? You can switch conversations with resume. No, Jesus. What is happening here, man? Do you have a slash, by the way? What is going on in the main agent? The main agent, we are implementing a milestone A, world item interactions. We have completed the following steps: procedural spawn, replication, walk to interact, spot hidden, truncated tab to expand. Testing, wrote a dedicated unit test that verifies the controller's pending state when far and close. Current block investigation. The automated test compiles and runs successfully, but fails on final assertion. The pending interaction is not getting cleared on tick when the pawn is simulated to be close. We added diagnostics to the test, which confirmed that the controller successfully possessed the pawn and successfully finds the interactable actor. The current step is identifying why the player take call did not execute the resolution path, such as checking if the player's state sheet has been initialized or if request due / server due needs a simulated player state set up inside the test invocation. All right. Carry on. Oh. Oh, and it looks like it's done carrying on. Wait! If B has pending interaction is true, and PC player tick 1F is called, could dist be greater than 300F? Wait, let's check. Pawn location is pawn set active location F vector 900F00F. But wait! I feel like the Soul Eater, obnoxious guy. Excalibur, yeah, that's his name. That's his name. All right, well, this is continuing on. GPT looks like it's finished up. The UMG panel is now split into travel here, selected inventory, rest, and case file. Ooh, that's nice. Travel sphere clicks still execute travel immediately. Non-travel local sphere clicks now select the lead and populated the selected with approach buttons instead of blindly executing approach 0. Inventory now shows acquired items separately from the case file. Updated continuation, roadmap, and playtest command docs. Verified editor build passed. Headless boot passed. Working tree is clean. What to test? Launch the game. Confirm the UI as a separate travel here. Selected inventory and rest and case file areas. Click a travel location sphere. It should still travel immediately. Click a local non-travel sphere. It should not immediately execute. It should populate selected. Use a button and select it to execute the action. Search until you find an item, then acquire it. The item should appear under inventory. In multiplayer Pi, check this on both listen server and client if possible. Makes sense to me, but with this thing running its test, if I launch the other one's editor, it's gonna fudge it up. So what that means is we don't play this game because that exploded my computer before, but let's check out Lethal Dungeon while this is doing its thing. What's up? What's up, doggies? You wanna go outside? You can only go outside if I pick you up. Come here, Lily. Come here, Lily. She needs to go outside, too bad. She's just like, spinning in circles. Oi. All right. Yes, doggies. Let's go outside. Let's go outside, doggies. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. Yeah, you're losing your mind. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. This is such a crazy girl. Go. Go. Heavy. Go. Go outside. Come on. Let's not gonna attack you.
Tell me what you wanna know.
Here. Bigger than her. Just beat her up. Come on. Come on, kid. Oi. The little dog is torturing the big dog. And the big dog's just like, I don't know what to do, because if I beat her up, then I get yelled at by my humans. But if I don't beat her up, then she's gonna bite my face. And it's like, yeah, when she's doing that, you're allowed to beat her up. She's biting your face. You can defend yourself. Oh. Victoria. I actually kind of like the Victoria. It's got a very unique flavor. All right. Is this still run? I'll wait for the test run to finish so we can check the population log. All right, man. You're doing extra work. Cloud out of date. Yeah, play anyways. That's fine. And the save's not yet in the cloud. It's fine. All we did was play the tutorial. I can redo the tutorial. It's fine. Why are you not? Actually, you know what? This works better. I've never wanted it to be minimized before, but this is preferable because then I can. Oh my god, I should have been playing this before. What? Now I need to know what games will work great in a minimized format like this, so I can watch the shenanigans. All right, that's fine. Put this over here. All right, I've never played this game. I've only played the tutorial. No, don't play the tutorial. As your level increases, so will the strength and types of enemies. All right, let's run it. What does this do? Attack is equal to the highest damage you've dealt this battle. Discard 1 card, but it does 5 damage. Why would I ever want to do that? Kick, kick, strike, kick. Seems pretty easy. I mean, we only get 60 gold, but it costs 100 gold to pull a card out of your deck, but we could have pulled out like a multi-attack. But then you only get 30 gold for the card saved, so it would cost 70 gold, so yeah, that's not worth it. A chest! Choose one. Attack all enemies, move to the other side. What does that mean? That I get behind them? What's my deck look like? Oh, those other stuff, those other attacks that I thought I had were only for the tutorial. I don't actually have them. Okay. Deal 2x damage to an enemy that has already taken damage. So that's only good if I get multi-attacks. I'm gonna take the switch, I think. Which card do you want to swap out? Oh. Oh! Okay. Oh, it cost a mana. The next card used can hit 2 enemies. Equal to the highest damage you've dealt this battle, but it costs 2. So the next card used can hit 2 enemies, and then we switch, which attacks all enemies. I wonder if that means it'll hit all enemies twice, which I guess doesn't actually do anything good for me. So let's megaphone the rush, and then we discard for the final kill. Ooh. No, we highlight for the final kill. I didn't think it would combine. It didn't combine them, did it? It actually just took the highest. All right. Because a discard would make us discard a card, which would be less gold. Oh, hey, look. I think it finished. All right, what do we got here? I've successfully implemented all requested changes, verify them with automated tests, and push the commit to the Gemini 3.5 branch. Summary I've worked on. Relax the time grace period. Clicked pillars for room travel. Enabled clicking on room name pillars. Implemented automatic player pawn teleportation. 3D world item and NPC interactions. Directed click tracing to map click 3D actors, items, and containers NPCs to their active leads. When clicked, the controller triggers pathfinding, walks towards the actor if proximity is required, and auto-resolves the action, picking up a document, unlocking a container, interviewing an NPC. Once the character is within the 300 unit range. Left the tested widget fully functional and in place as requested. Automated spot hidden and hint mechanics. When a player enters a room zone, an automatic spot hidden check is triggered via check zone entry. Upon entering the zone, the game state automatically adds fact, location known, party ID, target ID for any hidden items at that location. This provides a narrative hint, such as dust patterns or open drawers, so that the player is allowed to manually search the room if the automatic check fails. No. That shouldn't happen. No, that shouldn't always happen. Anyways, for locked strong boxes, entering their zone automatically reveals both the box and a clue pointing to the key. Example, you examine the banded strong box. A note hints that the key is in the study, granting the fact location known. Hint for the fact. Oh, that's kind of nice. Fixes and automated test verification. Okay. All right, let's go test that. I need to turn this thing down. And by turn it down, I mean shut the fuck up. All right, so this is on the Gemini. C, Gemini. Yeah, that's automatically changed us to being in the parlor. That's good. I'm gonna put this on the right side and this on the left side. So if this guy comes over, cool, we can rotate. And we clicked on the bearded thing. Party walked. The party walked. Shouldn't be all of them. No, can this guy still interact with this? You don't have the prerequisites? Okay. It doesn't say where the key's at. It just says you don't have the prerequisites for this approach. That's fine. Can I go to the seller by clicking on it? I can. And I found the tarnished key. And I can't pick it up yet because I got to wait for this guy. All right, so this guy is going to interact with this Night Archivist. If I click on it, is it going to charm by default? It is going to charm by default. Sure, that's fine. He failed to charm him. Now this guy, got to pick up the key. And then can I interact with this strongbox? The party slide, I was able to interact with the strongbox. Interesting. Well, opening it didn't give me the thing. Okay, so that's feedback. Can I fast talk this guy now? Oh my god, the fast talk is even harder to do. Rah! Alright, let me go back over to the walled garden. Ooh, when I entered the walled garden, we had this thing appear. What is this? Oh, that's my guy. I teleported him over. I didn't want to teleport him over. Oh, he's still occupied for 10 more minutes. All right, so if I over here and I click on the nursery, that didn't teleport him over that time. Click on the walled garden here, didn't teleport him over. Huh. All right, well, there's not a deny. And then clicking on this button. Oh, there was another madman over here. Oh, so clicking on the items up here moves the character over to it. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, I like that. All right. Why did it take me up to the top? All right. When I got the key and, I found a box, but it did not give me a hint to where the key is located, like you said it should. When I found the key, I could open the box, but I did not get the contents from inside the box. I also really like how clicking the widget button caused my character to navigate to where that item actually is in the world. Not the spot hidden failing should not then allow the player to search constantly over and over again. The player can only do that if an NPC, if a clue, parentheses, NPC or book. Oh. NPC, book, record, etc. indicates that there is an item at a location that we should be able to find. Mostly some really good work on that iteration though. Really impressed. Gemini is on a redemption arc. Yo, what's up, IT guy Matt? This place looks familiar. Balls! What's happening, man? How have you been? It looks familiar, but now, instead of there being a Shini, there's a drunk. Oh, wait, that's the same thing. All right. Now, GPT. So what's happening here, Matt, is I had Fable attempt to start making a game on Friday. It did an excellent job. It got my hopes up. I was just thrilled with what it had accomplished. And I was like, wow, I can see myself finally making my vision that I've had for 10 plus years. And then the government shut it down and I can't use Fable anymore. And so I have 3 different AIs running, all building a continuation of the project. And so I've got GPT continuing it, I've got Claude continuing it, and I have Gemini continuing it. And what the fuck was that sound? That was a hot reload sound. I didn't finish closing this. Whoops. And so yeah, that's kind of what that was. Or what we're doing, what we're up to. Has Claude's tokens reset yet? Settings, usage. Yeah, it's reset. Claude, you're back in the game. Can I / rate limit? All right, continue, where you left off. Sorry, rate limited earlier. Boom, run, do it all. I've been absolutely wonderful. Life has been really good to me in the last couple months. Fantastic. Tell me all the good news, man. I'm glad. Oh, speaking of life being good, look at that. I got that. That's the thing. I have this thing on. So yeah, I did a thing. I disobeyed Eminem's advice in Cinderella Man, and I got in the ring. Dumbest thing you can do. I mean, I love you. I know, not the chonkless. Yeah, so that's the thing. That's what's new over here. No worries. The test run executed. Let me parse the log and confirm all the suites. All right, and then GPT. What GPT you do for me? GPT, as much as I hate to admit it, has been doing, I think, the best work. I am a Claude fanboy. Okay, I'll admit. It was very easy to make me a Claude fanboy. It's called my work has unlimited Claude access, so it's the only tool I get to use. So naturally, I became a fanboy of it. But yeah, this 5.5 has been putting in some work. Let's swap over to the 5.5 variant and fire this up. And let's see, what are we supposed to be testing? What new things? The imaging panel is now split with the travel here, selected inventory, rest, and case file. All right, so they changed how the UI is set up. The travel sphere, click, still execute the travel immediately. Non-travel located spheres, now selected in the lead, will appear in the selected, and then you can choose how you want to interact with it. Okay, good change. Inventory now shows acquired items separately. That's decent change. Okay, so pretty small. There's probably a lot of code changes behind the scenes for this task to be accomplished, but pretty small as far as the testing efforts go. It's just, oh my. Okay. Well, it looks like ass. It fucking looks like ass, I'll tell you that. Yeah, you split it up. You did do that. Congratulations. All right, let's go to the library here. So here we're at the library. We can interview Father Ambrose. And we have nothing selected. If I select Father Ambrose, it pops up down here, and I can then choose how I want to interact with him. I choose to interact by bending over. Sorry, Father. Forgive me for I have sinned. I can't interact with it. I'm beyond the 30-minute grace window. All right, so that means the other guy's got to do some interactions. The other guy, we're going to take him up here to the attic. We're going to shove him in the attic. All right. In the attic, we can search the attic. If I click on search, okay. If I click, if there's only one item, then I want it to just say, like, interact, I think. Do I want interaction to be off of click, or do I want it to be off of like a click and then confirm? Maybe that becomes configurable. This dude is failing to find anything. All right, father. Fast talk. Father, fast talk. Oh. Okay, I can't quite read it behind this panel here, so I'm gonna give it an update. But I think it says, something about he does not want to deal with you after how the last conversation went. What about charm? Can I charm him? He does not want to deal with you after the last. Oh, I can't. I'm done. I'm cooked. The father hates me. All right. Well, I guess nothing I can do here at the library. I'm gonna go to the tavern now and be a drunk. All right. Let's continue searching the attic. The room keeps its secrets for now. No one seems to have noticed. All right. I found a journal. Get the journal. All right. I pick it up. Okay. It should be in my inventory now. Did I not pick it up successfully? Oh, I'm beyond my 30-minute window. So, I met a gal. Excellent. I have not stopped smiling since that day. Well, we met two different gals. I have not stopped cowering in fear since I met mine. Work has been great and fulfilling. Made a ton of new friends through the girlfriend. Been living life instead of just being a depressive lump. Dude, well, I'm glad that things have improved for you, man. It's hard to even identify that you're in a depressive slump most of the times until you're on the other side. And it's also really hard to identify whenever it happens in other people. My dad has been doing a lot better lately. He's been doing pretty shitty health-wise because he's got like diabetes. He got diagnosed recently and his health was just in a decline and stuff. And we just attribute it to the diabetes. But suddenly he was just doing so much better. And he was like, wow, yes, I have diabetes. And yes, that affects my health. And yes, it makes me feel bad. But actually, I was just depressed. And now I'm not depressed. And like it's like night and day. It's like, holy shit, man. It seems like you got cured of diabetes is what it seems like. But it's just in better spirits, just feeling better. So glad things are on the up and up for you, man. And hope that they continue to go that way. All right, I went to the tavern. Let's search the tavern. We got nothing. Let's search again. Ah, extreme success. So there's a key here. All right, so I got the key. I picked it up. Do I have a key in the inventory? I do have a key in the inventory. Yes. All right, let me pick this up. I've got a water stain journal in the inventory. All right, dude, GPT's version, as shitty as this inventory is, or this HUD is getting some work done. It's getting some work done. Yeah, taking my daughters on a road trip this coming weekend. Going to be gone for about 8 days. I'm so excited. If you don't mind me asking, or if you don't mind disclosing, on stream, where are you heading? Are you 8 days? That sounds like one hell of a trip. I went on my first cruise ship. That's where I did the proposal, and that was one hell of a trip. One hell of an expense is what it was. Jesus Christ. Just travel normally. Don't go all crazy. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You get so much, like, they're surprisingly affordable, especially now that, you know, the coronavirus or whatever it was happened and trapped everybody. Going to Yellowstone, like, give them the option for either driving to the ocean or Yellowstone, and they chose Yellowstone. That's fascinating. I don't know what to read from that. Like, what to interpret from that. I'm surprised that I feel like most kids would be like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Does that mean that they're like historic buffs, or that they, like, what does that speak about, like, what their interests are? But that's gonna be amazing. And then if Yellowstone goes off, Matt, I blame you. I blame you. A 7-year-old is excited to see Mount Rushmore. Dude, I would be excited to see Mount Rushmore. I'll be honest. Okay, that would be a tough call. Like a big mountain carved or the ocean. I might choose a giant carved mountain. I'll be honest. Hostile to you is Father Ambrose. Okay, that's really cool. All right, now if I run this character down here and I go, wait, wasn't he in the library? He's not there no more. Oh, you just couldn't see him because no one was there. That is awesome. Wait, then why can't I see this up here? Why can't I see that journal up there? All right. So this guy can interview the father right now, but if this guy he's pissed off with comes in to the library, then can he still interview him? I can. So he's only pissed off at the other guy. I'm gonna charm him. Slade, I'm gonna charm. Hey, daddy. We passed! Extreme success! I learned a vital weakness. Dry salt. This is interesting. So I found the Waterstain Journal, and I acquired the Waterstain Journal. Have I not read the Waterstain Journal? Wait, can I click on the Waterstain Journal? I can't click on it. What do I do with the Waterstain Journal? If I go to the records office, I can interview the widow. So we already know about the weakness being dry salt. This is coming along quite nicely. We have a lot of stops along the way. The Devil's Tower, Badlands, Mount Rushmore, a dinosaur museum, and all the things at Yellowstone. I've never been to Yellowstone. I have no idea what's there other than, like, isn't that just like a geyser and like a giant like national park? I think of that as like a camping trip place. Now all those, I did not consider all the additional stops along the way there, but that sounds like one hell of a road trip with lots of good times. Oh shit, I fumbled. You make noise. Doom Titans. Everybody hates you now. All right, hold on. Let me try talking to him. Lead selected. Choose it. Approach. The lead is no longer available. Oh no, he's fumbled it so bad. He knows the party's together and refuses to help. Oh, that's so good. Oh my God. That's so good. All right, what if I run up here? Oh, wait. The read the journal is still up here. We picked up the journal, but we never read the journal. Okay. Dude, I'm getting pretty excited about this game. Not gonna lie. I'm getting pretty fucking excited. Now, this probably looks like shit and doesn't seem very fun. I don't care. I'm so excited about this. I've daydreamed about having a Call of Cthulhu video game that's like true to Call of Cthulhu for a long ass time. And it's happening. Oh yes, road trip with these gas prices. I shudder at the thought. Not terribly expensive either. I used ChatGPT to help me guesstimate the cost, roughly $3,000 to $3,500 total. I already booked all the hotels back in March. It cost you around $1,600. I'm so mad. I found a shiny Lumentel, 1 in 8,000 chance. Caught it and my computer crashed. Oh man. Maybe it's a seeded experience, and when you reload in, if you take all of the exact steps, every single step exactly the same, then it will cause it to do the same thing. Now you can't miss. You can't go one tile north in a spot. It has to be exactly the same. I already did that. It didn't work. Every decision must be the same. Alan, you have to roll the system clock back. You got to roll the system clock back to the precise millisecond. I'm not too worried about the gas prices. My car gets 40 miles per gallon. Not doing all that. Oh man, this is coming along nicely. All right, we're in GPTs right now, so the only feedback I really have for GPT is the UI works for testing and game dev, but holy moly, is it terrible aesthetically. Holy moly, is it ugly. I got lucky and I was able to confirm a lot of the functionality. When we picked up an item and it was in the inventory, when we picked up the journal, I'm gonna say journal specifically. When we picked up a journal, it was added to the inventory, but the only way to read it was by going to the sphere in the world where we picked it up and clicking read there. The inventory should have some way to interact with the items there. If clicking on something only has one option, then it should automatically interact with it. Instead of requiring the confirmation in the selected UI tab. I did fumble a role during an interview and was able to confirm that it locks out all of the party members because they refused to work with the group. I was also able to confirm that one player making someone mad from fast talking over and over did not prevent the other player from chatting with them, from talking to them. The second player was not present when the first player made them angry. This looks pretty good. I'm really thrilled about how this is going. I also like how when no player is at a location, it does not show the objects that are there. So tell me about what's going on here. You making a game with the help of multiple AIs? Yeah, so we're in an interesting situation. Let me pull up the milestones. I think that'll be the best way, or the roadmap. So I fired up Claude Fable 5 on Friday after work, and I just really generically kind of asked it a couple questions, and it was like, dude, just let me do it. Just say the word and I'll build it for you. And I said, all right, go for it. And it just automatically created all the dice rolling, all the rules for the game. It set up the back end networking so that all the values were replicated between the players and the servers. It set up server authentication. It set up quest procedural generation, and it set up the ability to track the state of the world and everything that's happened within the game state. Just like snap the fingers, it was all done in like 15 minutes, and it burned through all of the 5-hour window because Claude was giving you like, you have so many tokens to use at 5-hour intervals. You have a weekly limit and a 5-hour limit so that everybody gets to play with it, I guess. And so I was like, hey, that almost used all of our usage. Before we log off, please make a continuation document so that we can pick this up tomorrow. And so it made this document here with the roadmap, and it had additional items in the roadmap that weren't marked at the time. Then later, Claude Fable 5 was shut off by the government. So I now had all these cool things built out, but I need to figure out how I'm going to continue the project. And so what I decided to do was to continue the project 3 different times. So I have one repo continuing it with Claude Opus 4.8, another repo continuing it with GPT 5.5, and the last one is continuing it with Gemini 3.5. So I'm kind of building out the exact same game 3 different times, all simultaneously, because I have a different terminal running for each one, and I'm just interacting with them as they're like finishing, and then I'm testing what they're doing, and that's what's happening here. It's the most crackhead context switching way of developing a game you could ever imagine, and I'm paying 3 times the price for it since I'm building it 3 times. But that's what's happening. And the game concept is just Call of Cthulhu, the tabletop RPG, but bringing it into a game where every other game that has been inspired by Call of Cthulhu isn't really a Call of Cthulhu game at all. They'll be like, "Oh no, let's go. We're on like one of the games I enjoyed. It was fun, but it's just not Call of Cthulhu. It was like you're on like an oil rig out in the ocean, and some weird stuff happens. Like you find something in the ocean, and then like just all hell breaks loose on the thing. But like you're fighting these scary monsters. You see these scary monsters, and you fight them, and like you eventually like all the people around you are dying or whatever, and you succeed at taking down the scary demon monster." That's not how real life works. And Call of Cthulhu, the board game, works a lot like real life. You see scary demon monster rips your head off and shits down your throat because it's a scary demon monster. Good fucking luck. You're dead. And that's what I want to make. Will it be fun? I don't fucking know. I don't know how to make this fun, okay? That's not the point. People like the tabletop game. They'll like this. It just might not be very many people. But yeah, so it's got the and then one of the bonuses is bringing the procedural generation into it, because like one of my favorite scenes, or like not scenes, scenarios of Call of Cthulhu is just the one that's in the rule book, like just the starting one where like you're in a like it's just like investigate the haunted house basically, and like just as you learn what's going on and like who lived there, and like as you run into the encounter, and it's just so awesome. But then like if I go to play that again as a player with like you who hasn't played it, I already know. I know where the bad guy is. I know what's going on. I know what his weakness is. I know all this stuff. So that's what we were investigating now, is like in here, all that's procedural. Like, oh, you discovered you're up against a vampire? Awesome. And now you're just like, all right, I'm gonna go get a cross. I'm gonna go get some silver. I'm gonna go get some garlic. I'm gonna go take this vampire down. I'm gonna kick his ass. And then you run in there, and the vampire just laughs, and he's like, ah ha ha, I'm weak to peanut butter. You didn't know that, did you? It's because like everything is procedural with this. Like all the monsters' weaknesses, their locations, their habits, everything is procedural. It's just like their stats won't be. So like the vampire stats will be vampire stats, but yeah, the weaknesses and where they habitate, how they behave, those things, all procedural. That's kind of the plan. You do you, boo boo. Yeah, that's the plan. But I gotta figure out how, 1, to make it fun, and 2, to make it fun. One of the neat things is like by making that stuff procedural, a lot of times I think if it's like a shooter, it doesn't work. It wouldn't be fun in a shooter in any way. But since it's an investigation game where you're like learning the story and stuff, knowledge is kind of the loot in this game. And so like finding the monster's weakness, that's like epic loot. Equivalent, since this is a investigation game. Like that's knowledge. Knowledge is the loot in this game. So I think it works out well. It's just gotta figure out how to make it like, and fun might not be the word. It might just be entertaining. Like, because I don't think horror games are fun. I don't think anybody thinks horror games are fun. But the atmosphere and the tension and stuff, it's engaging, and and I think that's probably the direction we'll have to go, or for the game itself. It's not so much like, oh man, I got to make reading library books fun. Like, that's never going to be fun, right? You just got to make it like fitting, make the players want to do it because they enjoy that activity and want to engage in it, type of deal. And that's going to be done, I think, a lot through setting the mood and having pacing correct. Like, you don't want, like, the real tabletop game takes, like, you're going to have like 3 5-hour long sessions, right? And where the first session is nothing but rummaging around libraries and stuff. Like, that's not going to translate well. I think this would expedite a lot of stuff because the dice is being auto rolled. The gamekeeper isn't having to look up the rules. So I think what would be like a 10-hour session typically might get like dropped down to like just a 30-minute game session in here. And so I'm hoping that will also help increase how fun it is. Because like that's even a drag, even in the real game that I've played a bunch and I enjoy. It's still, the first session is always like, this first session's a drag. But yep, it's kind of what we're working on in the direction. But I do think that I'm gonna wrap it and try to play some games. It's coming up on 10 o'clock. I worked all day for real work, and then I worked all night on this work. So I think we're gonna wrap the stream up here. And if you want to see more, like and subscribe, follow, and suck my I mean, unless you're gonna. Let me go ahead and get the AI stream link. Damn, son, I already used 85% of the context. Oh, because I didn't turn it off of the Ultra Think Crazy mode. Whoops. My bad. I meant to do that. Here. Where's it at? YouTube.com. Flip over to here. And then we've got the special channel that's just for the programming nonsense here. If anybody wants to track what we continue doing on this project, that'll be a good spot to do so. And then we got a gaming YouTube as well for all the other stuff. But yep, thanks for coming by, Matt. I hope your road trip goes well, and I'm very glad to hear that you got a new gal and life's on the up and up. Hope things continue that way for you, my good sir. All right, peace out, Girl Scout. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I'll see you next time, probably next Sunday. Anytime between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Those are when I might stream, with more likely being Sundays and Mondays. So, till next time, see ya. Bye.